Absolutely. So what do you see as the future of voiceover? I mean, you were talking a little bit about gaming there, and that you're trying to back off a little bit from the gaming work, even though we know it's taking over a tremendous amount of the business there. But what other trends do you see in the voiceover business, seeing as you're doing a lot of different things across a lot of different genres?
Yeah, well, I guess to speak briefly on the video games, you guys, I don't know if you've talked about it, where the union now has authorized a strike
Yep.
for video games regarding session length and kind of like residuals and that, because a lot of these games are selling millions and millions of units, and while the session fees can be quite nice in video games, there's no residuals, and once you're done with your session, you're done. And I've been fortunate enough to be in some pretty big franchises, Call of Duty, Batman, and the like, and they sell millions and millions of units, but I'm not seeing any more of that. And that's where the union's stepping in and saying, hey, this should be, in commercials, in so many other areas, you get residuals for work that, if you do on-camera stuff, if it goes to reruns and stuff. I've done some ADR stuff for some TV shows and sitcoms. When they go into reruns, I get paid again also. I've done ADR in feature films, and I get paid when that goes to when it's released in theaters, but then also when it goes to internet downloads and such, I get checks, from that as well, but not the case in video games. So that's kind of another reason why I'm pulling back. It's like, well, geez, if I'm working physically the hardest and traveling into town, it's the most inconvenient, and it's the physically most taxing for me. And revenue wise, it's among the lowest of the revenues that I generate. So it's like, no brainer. I think I might want to pull back from that a little bit. If that changes, though, if we do, if they come to an agreement and it becomes a little bit more, reasonable for me financially, then it's like, okay, well, it's that now it's more worth my while, and something that I might kind of step back into. But as far as future in that, I think it's always the keeping your eye on the trends. Like what's popular right now is still very that conversational kind of read. But now there's also that kind of grander style, the character kind of reads are starting to kind of come back, similar to the Real Men of Genius Bud Light campaign, the guy with the authoritative sound. I'm getting a lot of call for those types of sound. That over-the-top, comedic, authoritative kind of read is, and maybe it's just for my particular vocal type, but I'm seeing that as a lot more popular in the last couple of years. And so being aware of what some of the trends are is vital for the future, and that'll always change in voiceover. As far as technology is concerned, we talked about ISDN. I mean, it's still strong, but it for me at least, but it'll eventually stop. I think from my standpoint, because I do work in promos, as soon as some of those networks are no longer able to utilize ISDN, I think they're going to start to switch over to the IPDTL, the Source Connect, and that kind of thing. So, but right now, I just if it ain't broke for them, then I guess I'm not going to fix it. But I'm ready for when I do have Source Connect. So, and I'm surprised as to the percentage of actors that don't also have Source Connect. They just have, say, ISDN, or they only have ISDN and they don't have the other. That was part of my plan too, was to make sure I was able to work with whatever studio, whatever they had. If it was a phone patch, I got you. If it's ISDN, I got you. If it's Source Connect, I got you. So being flexible and adaptable was very important for me then, now, and in the future too.
Yeah, and so much for having to do our Source Elements commercial tonight.
Yeah, we covered that one.
We did.
They're actually a sponsor now, Source Connect.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the stuff that you've been doing here, Chris, and so you get an idea of all these things you're talking about.
No, you paid too much for those glasses.
Who?
You. You paid too much. Practically everyone overcharges, except for America's Best.
Who?
America's Best. They give everyone a deal. In fact, you can get 2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for just $69.95.
2?
2.
2.
2.
Who?
Stop it. 2 pairs and a free exam for $69.95. It's not just a better deal, it's America's Best. Craft is alive and well in America and currently on display in your derby car. Correction, your son's derby car, because the rules clearly stipulate that this is a chance for 5th graders to shine, not you. But even stand-in craftsmen deserve a well-crafted reward. At BJ's Restaurant and Brew House, we believe people don't go out for good. They go out for great, because the best times aren't made, they're crafted. When it comes to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, we know 4 things. 1, it's the best sitcom on TV. 2, it's a Golden Globe winner. 3, it's on after the Super Bowl.
Well, what's the 4th thing you know?
All the lyrics to Taylor Swift's Love Story. It's like she knows exactly what my heart is thinking.
All new tonight after the Super Bowl on Fox.
Wow, that's great stuff. I mean, that's stuff that we all see all the time and hear all the time, and that's really cool that you're doing that. Now, that owl commercial. How did they do that? Now, I guess that was a little bit different from your average voiceover job.
Yeah, that was for America's Best, a eyeglass, obviously, thing, and they're supposed to be hitting that pretty hard in the next few months, continuing that campaign with the owl as their kind of spokesman there. So, but that one, they normally with any of these sessions, the voiceover is going to be one of the last things they do to lay on top of the finished product of what they've filmed. But with this one, they wanted me to come on the on-camera set while they were shooting, the on-camera actors. And I was like thinking, am I going to be in like an owl suit or something? What's what exactly am I doing here? And they wanted me to be off camera to the actors, and there was 4 different spots so far that we've done. So that was, of course, one of them. And I was off camera doing my lines and go the back and forth banter with the actors, and they wanted me to kind of loosen up the on-camera actor with some of the banter and they were real happy with the finished product. Now I still had to afterward, a couple of months later, did the finished VO in studio. But yeah, that one was the first and so far only time where I had to go to the set and do the on-camera stuff. And I was sitting in my little director's chair, off on the side, belting out my lines as they're going back and forth. And they had a stuffed owl kind of clipped to the in that one the park bench. And I'm thinking, are they going to use that owl? Because I was thinking, man, that is really cheesy looking. it's like you'd win it at like a carnival kind of a thing. But they're like, no, that's the stand-in owl. They just wanted to get the eye line correct. And that, so they're going to do a CGI owl. It's going to be great, whatever. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. That's great. But
I hope they're telling the truth.